How's it going, Kittanning? Wow. How are you here already, Kelly? Were you just waiting for that moment when you could just be first? That is awesome. So, glad that you're here. Glad that you've all been able to join tonight. And hopefully, we'll have a lot of people. We'll have a good conversation. You may have noticed by the thumbnail, I just said, this is I'm blessed to be in Kittanning, to live in Kittanning, and so I have a couple of different things that were, a couple of things that I got over the last couple of days, and just blessings, that everyone has been continuing to pray for our family and just been really super supportive, and just a couple of really neat things I wanted to share with you tonight. So. We'll get into that in just a couple minutes. If this is your first live stream, we always try to, basically have a couple minutes at the beginning just to allow people to show up, give YouTube a chance to notify everybody that this is actually live, and then hopefully other people will join us. But if it's your first time, we do this every Sunday night, have a live stream on this channel at 9 o'clock, normally just between a half hour and an hour. We've gone over that before, but normally it's at least a half an hour, and we just kind of talk about Kittanning. And so my big question for you guys is, what's the biggest blessing for you to be in this city, to be in Kittanning, or to be in Armstrong County, or wherever you're from? Just let me know. What's the biggest blessing for you to live where you live? And just very interested to hear kind of your answers about that. And then I'll talk a little bit more about my experience. So this week finally had a lot of opportunity to finally catch up on editing videos. And so I caught up on editing a few more videos from when Joanna was still in the hospital, and then us coming home, which was really great. And just the outpouring of support from all those videos as well has been amazing. And then I finally on Thursday got to go out and film another Kittanning video. So that was really great to kind of just be back to a little bit of normalcy as far as that goes. And then have one more family video that should be up by tomorrow, as long as I can get it finished edited tonight. And then after that, we'll just have a bunch more Kittanning videos coming. I've been waiting. My wife is waving goodbye, you guys. She's not joining again tonight. She's like, oh, I need sleep. I haven't slept through the night in 2 weeks, so that's fine. Just go. It's fine. You don't even want to say hi. Anyways, she's shaking her head. She's glaring. She's walking away, you guys. She's walking away. Okay. Anyways, gonna make more Kittanning videos. I actually got a letter on Friday that I didn't open yet, and so it's on my desk, waiting for the video that I'm gonna film tomorrow. And as long as what's inside the letter is what I think it is, then I will make sure to make a video about that tomorrow. And so if I've piqued your curiosity, you'll have to check that video out Tuesday morning. Hopefully, that will be up, and we'll just be able to move forward with my last two problem videos for Kittanning. And then after that, we will move into kind of some follow-ups of the big five, the five issues that I see in the city. And so be making follow-up videos on all five of those topics throughout the coming year. Hopefully like maybe 10 videos a piece on those things. And so when we talk about the opioid epidemic and the drug problem in Kittanning, I'll have a bunch of different follow-up videos with different agencies that are already doing work, and different people that have ideas on what we can do moving forward. And then hopefully some stories from recovering addicts and what's worked for them and all those kinds of things. So I'll have things like that on those videos. I'll have different things for what were the other ones? Filling the storefronts in Kittanning. Obviously, we'll have a lot of work on the blight in Kittanning. Those will be Summer of Serve videos, and hopefully some other videos having to do with that. I also have some really neat ideas for Summer of Serve, and I could use your guys' help on that. Actually, if I had a couple of volunteers that live in the city that want to help me kind of prepare for Summer of Serve this year, I have a couple different needs with that, and so we can talk about that tonight as well. So let me know, leave some comments for me. What is it that you want to talk about? What's your biggest blessing to live in Kittanning, or to live in the city that you live in? And then we'll get right into the conversation. So just bear with me. I also have a new cup, so I got to tell you about that as well. This is not red wine, even though I'm drinking a red liquid out of a red wine cup. But it's not red wine. I promise it's kombucha. It's always kombucha on Sunday nights. I'm not a wine drinker. I don't drink alcohol anymore. So just wanted to make that known. It's so good, you guys. It's so good. All right, let me go through some comments here and we'll get into it. All right. Am I lagging? I just saw a comment that said I'm lagging. Is everyone like, can you just, let me know if this video is okay? Is the sound good? Is everything working? Kelly was here first. I saw the notification pop up. Literally, there wasn't even a second on the timer yet, and she had already said first. I have no idea how that happened, but it was amazing. Good job, Kelly. Kevin was second, father and daughter, coming in. First one and number 1 and 2. Summer says, not getting my notifications. Todd says, hey, third, not bad. Caden says, hi. Randall 43's in the house. Very good. 3D Maker Kid says, really? My notification was so late. I'm sorry. 3D Maker Kid. Swan says, hi, everyone. Kevin feels bad for you, 3D Maker Kid. Todd says, your reign is over. I love it. I love that this is like a competition now. It's fantastic. 3D Maker Kid is raging. Kevin says hi to Elizabeth, but she's already gone. She's already gone, my friend. Todd says, just kidding. Matt says, it's a bummer. No more football on TV for now. Pens won and looked good. High scoring game. I haven't watched the Pens game in probably, 4 or 5 years, literally. Jim Rutherford got the Warrior helmet today for his 70th birthday. Go Pens. Go Pens. I'm cool with it. As long as you're not playing the Minnesota Wild, I'm a Pens fan, man. I'm with you. 3D Maker Kid is upgrading his internet connection as we speak. He's on the phone with Comcast. Summer says, I was wondering where 3D Maker was. 3D Maker Kid, you are a legend. You are a Kittanning legend, and you don't even live in Kittanning. It's fantastic. Let's see here. Sorry, I don't know where I'm missing comments here. Okay, here we go. Wait, I'm still not back. Okay. Kevin says he will help with summer serve. Yes. Caden says my notification was late. It's a YouTube thing. I can't help it, you guys. Kelly says I want to help with summer serve. Look good on my resumes. Absolutely, it will look good. And then you can put me on your resume as a reference, and I can tell all the people how awesome of a worker Kelly was. Absolutely. Evan says, where's the wife? The wife is in bed. And I was joking earlier, like literally, she has not gotten a full night's sleep in over 2 weeks. Because basically in the hospital, they were waking Joanna up every 2 hours, which meant my wife was up every 2 hours. And then over the past week, she's been checking blood sugar in the middle of the night. And so at 10 o'clock, we would check it. And then 3 in the morning, we would check it as well. Now we're past all that, so as long as the kids sleep tonight, my wife has an opportunity to get a full night's sleep from 9 p.m. all the way till like 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And so, that's where we're at. Caden says, you're good. Todd says, biggest blessing is meet and greet with bubble hockey, baby. Yeah, we need to make that happen. Kevin says, my biggest blessing from living in Kittanning is finding Living Water Church. If not for their support as well as God's, I'm not sure where I would be right now. That is fantastic. I love it. I love it, man. Obviously, Living Water Church is a huge blessing to me as well. Will Rummel is asking, people reference you as pastor, what church? And so it's Living Water Church in Kittanning, 721 Woodward Avenue. We have a couple different services. Saturday nights, we have Pastor Mark is our lead pastor for Saturday nights, and Saturday nights at 6:30. And then Sunday mornings, I am generally preaching at 10 a.m., so you can come on out. Today, I also got to lead worship, which is always pretty fun for me. I really enjoy leading worship as well. And we just had a really great day. Although, as I was leading worship today, my string popped off, right, like in the middle of a song. And so I quit playing for like 5 seconds, ripped the string off my guitar, and kept playing with 5 strings. But then when I put my thumb back down, I jammed a guitar string into my thumb pretty deep, and so I was bleeding profusely all over my guitar pick. I was kind of pushing my guitar pick against the wound to try to stop the bleeding. But it was an interesting day, but it was awesome. It was great. It was fantastic. Kelly says, "I'll." It's called "Keep Refreshing the Page and Staying on YouTube." Kelly's on it. You know, she's going next level. 3D Maker Kid. You may never win again. It's just I don't know. I'm just saying. Uh, Becky says hi. Becky's in the house. Thank you for coming, Becky. Michelle says hi from Kevin. So fantastic. Hello, Michelle. Glad to see you today. It's always great to see you, actually. Rumor has it Michelle's actually going to get baptized 2 weeks from today. So if you all want to see Michelle get baptized, come on out to Living Water Church on March 3rd. I'm calling you out, Michelle. Will says, thanks, Kevin. 3D Maker Kid says, how the heck do you know my internet provider? Well, you only have two options around here as far as I know. You only have Windstream and Comcast, so I just took a wild guess that your family had Comcast just because of your speed before. Because if you have Windstream, it's real slow. Matt Smith says, if you haven't checked it out yet, watch Indivisible with Nate Boyer on NFL Network. He travels around to different NFL cities talking about the history of each town, food, art, and culture. That sounds fantastic. I definitely want to watch that. Todd says, Andrew, I don't drink anymore either. I don't drink any less. I don't know what that means. So we know what's in the glass. Sorry, I don't understand the total comment there, Todd. Help me out. Evan Shirley says, make sure you check your tire. I will check my tire. Evan sent me a message earlier letting me know there was some kind of bubble in my tire, so I have to go check that before I go to bed tonight. Matt says, yoy. Was that like a terrible towel? What was his name? Is it Marlon Cope? Is that his name? Sorry, I know I'm like, this is bad now. I should know that. Myron Cope. It's Myron Cope, isn't it? Didn't he always used to say yoy? Yeah. Michelle sent me a pic on Facebook. I'm going to check it out right now. Let's see. Wow. Okay, so she's referencing a sermon that I did last week. This looks like a really old school movie on Joshua and the Battle of Jericho. It sounds like something y'all need to watch, and let me know how it was. I also still didn't watch the movie I said I was going to watch last week, which was Samson. Instead of watching that, I watched Paul the Apostle of Christ last Sunday night. And, well, I watched it Monday night as well, and it was really, really good. But I still have to watch Samson. So whoever told me to watch that, I didn't get to it yet, but it's on my Netflix list for sure. 3D Maker Kid says, yes, it's time to break out the bots. You're going to have bots check in for you, huh? That's fantastic. I'm down with it, whatever needs to happen. Summer says, I agree with you, Kevin. I'm so blessed to have found Pastor Andrew in Living Water Church. God is working. Love it. Absolutely love it. Kevin says, that's awesome. Matt Smith says, you need to bring your Living Water Church band next year to Winter Jam at PPG Paints Arena. It's a ton of Christian bands get together for a night for a good cause. Get in on it. If they would have us at Winter Jam, we would be there. I can guarantee you that. You know what? We could probably put on a pretty good show, I would bet. But we'd have to get the crowd into it to make it, worthwhile. People are used to seeing like talent level of David Crowder and different stuff like that. We're nowhere near that. Although Kim at our church is probably, near that. But I don't think the rest of us are probably quite there yet. But we'd have a good time. I can guarantee you that. And we could get the crowd into it. I can pretty much guarantee you that too. Jennifer says, Myron. Yeah, it was Myron. See, I picked it up. It took me a minute, but that was when I first moved to Pittsburgh, when I was kind of looking at the Steelers and how amazing it was to the fans of Steeler football. It was always Myron Cope, I think, was still on the radio right when I moved here. It was like his last couple years. And so I got to listen to him because I was, always driving around and it was really cool to kind of catch the end of his career, and yeah. Anyways, that's enough about that. Gene Schaefer says, Pastor Andy, good job today. Can you pray for Kelly? She is having trouble. I can absolutely pray for Kelly. If you wouldn't mind messaging me on Facebook or something, more specifics on the trouble, I'd be happy to pray more specifically as well. Caden says, my favorite blessing is when my dad is hammering on the steering wheel when you have a trailer on the back of the truck sliding down Troy Hill because they can't plow it. That sounds terrifying. Was that today with the snow, or was it a different time? But that doesn't sound like a blessing at all. But it sounds like an interesting time. Kevin says, already moved a TV and VCR in front of my treadmill. Is the first video you're gonna watch Joshua in the Battle of Jericho? Evan says, I'm not going next Saturday to church. Does that mean you're going on Sunday? I assume. True Story says, Paul the Apostle was excellent. It totally was. It was a really good movie. Very well made. 3D Maker Kid says, I'm dying, Caden. Kelly says, Samson is a good movie. So are the Commandments movies. Yeah, they are. I mean, are you talking the old one, Charlton Heston, or is there like a different one that's not 60 years old? I'm not sure. Um, Todd says, I don't drink any more alcohol, and I don't drink. Okay. Very good. Okay. I got it now. Swan says, with your daughter, do you think there were any type 1 signs that you recognize only now in looking back? I hope she's doing okay. So that's a good question. So type 1 diabetes, a lot of times you don't actually find out until, somebody just passes out because of well, it'd be a high sugar moment, but when your sugar gets so high and you actually have someone that would faint or, would pass out and go into a shock, basically. That didn't happen with her at all. She was basically sick when all the kids were sick, and so all the kids kind of had a couple days where they were puking and kind of had flu-like symptoms. And then after that, everyone else got better, and Joanna just didn't. She was still laying on the couch, lethargic, all those kinds of things. And so we really didn't have any indication other than that. We thought the effects of the virus were just kind of lingering. And so we took her, or my wife took her to the doctor. And then after that, she, they had her do a urine test, and her sugar showed up over 400. And then by the time she got to the hospital, she was over 500. And so they life flighted her to Children's, and that's when that whole process started. There's a video on that too if you want to go check it out. It's called When Everything Stops, I think was the video. Or maybe it was When Everything Changes. I can't remember. But anyways. Yeah, she's doing okay now. Her sugar has been very, very stable, all things considered. And no complaints there at all. We're going to begin, hopefully, a little prayer initiative. I've had so many people reach out to me saying they want to pray more specifically with me. And so I'm going to be sending people specific messages, specific prayer requests for Joanna, because I believe in the miraculous healing of God. And so I just want people to pray specifically with us as we begin to explore different avenues for her to, not have to deal with this for the rest of her life. But that being said, even if she does have to deal with it, I even preached this today. I just believe that God's going to get glory out of that girl's life no matter what. And so that's my number one prayer, is that God would just use my life and use the life of my family members for His glory, whatever that takes, whatever that means. Just that as many people would seek Jesus because of us. So that's probably enough of that as well. Todd says, it was me that told you about Samson. Yes, okay, I remember now. Becky says, your band could go to the Riverfront Park and have a meetup there. We've actually played the last 3 years at the Riverfront Park for Christstock. And so if you do want to see us, you could come out to Christstock next year if you want to experience the band. Or you could come to first Thursday every night, or every first Thursday of the month at Living Water Church. And so the next one would be March 7th. If you want to mark your calendars for March 7th, you can come on out to Living Water and you can get the full Living Water Church Band experience, or Living Water Family Band is what we call ourselves, actually. So, yes, come on out. Matt Smith says, watch Run the Race movie trailer about two brothers who work together to get sports college scholarships, directed by Tim Tebow. Comes out this week and Christian related. You would like it. Yeah, and I actually watched a video on Tim Tebow, and no one, bad memory for you guys probably, but when the Broncos beat the Steelers in that playoff game, and Tim Tebow had that amazing throw in overtime to win it, and the stats from that game and how everything matched up with 316. And it was on the 3-year anniversary of when he first put 316 on his eye black in the national championship game with the Gators. And just a really amazing story. If you guys get a chance, go look that up. But Tim Tebow is just an incredible guy. And if you've never looked up Night to Shine as well, he's the national ambassador for Night to Shine, which is basically a prom for special needs people. And one of the churches in our denomination in Greenville does it. And it's just a really, really beautiful event, a really awesome thing that they do for the special needs community. Just something that I'd love to see happen in Kittanning at some point. I think that would be really, really cool. So it's not on my radar in the near future, but hopefully maybe in the next few years, we'd have enough people at the church to have a whole another group of volunteers that would want to take something like that on. But Tim Tebow, love Tim Tebow. Sorry. The old ones, Kelly says, for the Ten Commandments. Yes, totally agree. I like that movie as well. I used to watch it every Easter, every single one. Gene said, sent you a message. Thank you, sir. Evan says, Justin is my pastor, and I'm going next Saturday. Crosby was great. That's good. Yeah, Justin Lamison and First Church of the Nazarene. I would highly suggest, if you're not into living water, if we're a little too crazy for you, go to the Church of the Nazarene. You'll find a great pastor there with Justin Lamison. In fact, we have a lot of great churches in Kittanning, so I wouldn't fault you for going to just about any of them. Super proud of you, Evan, by the way, being a young guy and making sure that you're getting involved and active with the church. I think that's fantastic. Caden says, yes, it was today. The bad thing about it was the heaviest quad by far was in the back of the trailer. That's crazy, man. That had to have been a little scary, at least. Caden says, I was dying inside when he was doing it. 3D Maker Kid, sorry for laughing. Caden says, when will you post on the meetup? And so as soon as I have that stuff finalized, I really just want to get through these Kittanning videos. I had a 2-week delay, obviously, with everything going on. So I promise you we will do it eventually. The good thing about that it being delayed so long is that the weather's getting nicer, too. So, yeah, that's always going to help. Will Rummel says, thank you for letting me know what church you're at. I'm in the market for a local one. I'd be happy to check it out. Yeah, definitely. Come check us out. We'd love to have you. Like I said, it's on Woodward Avenue, 721. It's the old Knights of Columbus building. We're not like a super structured church, so it's come as you are. Like, this is what I preached in today. Just wear your normal clothes. Come out and just enjoy worshiping with us. Absolutely. Kevin says, my tape of The Passion of the Christ is messed up near the end. It gets all fuzzy. That's no good. Melissa says, sorry we missed today. We'll be back hopefully next week. Melissa, I know you've been dealing with a lot, so don't even worry about it. But glad that you're on here. Glad I'll be more than happy to have you back at our house sometime soon, hopefully, and be happy to have you at church as well. Summer says, can you share some insight on some changes that will hopefully be happening this summer? Yeah, so let's talk about Summer Serve. I really want to talk about that, so this would be a good opportunity to do that. So this year for Summer Serve, I really want to work on more facades of houses. And I've talked about this in past videos, so maybe this won't be so surprising to you. But what I really want to do is basically create a database for us, for the whole town of Kittanning, for every house that has like chipped and peeling paint. And so if that's the columns on the front porch, or maybe it's the boards on the front porch, or maybe it's the entire house. There's some towns or houses in Kittanning where the entire house is chipping and peeling away. And so what I'd like to do is if we could go to like 30 or 40 of those houses in Kittanning and like 10 of them in Ford City, I would love to take our inventory of houses and then go down and knock on the doors of all those places and figure out who the owner of the house is and see if they would let us paint it. We can come and scrape it. We're really good at it at this point. We can scrape it, prime it, and paint it. We can basically do a pretty professional job for no money at all because I can get the paint for free, have a connection for as much paint as I want if we're doing it for service projects. And then we can also have the free labor from living water. So I think if we can go through the town and change 50 facades of houses or through the two towns, even in Kittanning, if you could change 30 houses, it would be an absolutely astounding change in the city. And so I just really want to make that happen this summer from Living Water's perspective. I want to continue to try to clean up garbage. I want to continue to try to mow yards and do all those kinds of things as well. But also, I really want to do more projects that are going to last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road. If we can do those kinds of things, I think we can have a greater impact in the future. And we just haven't been able to do that in the past because, manpower wise, we didn't have as many people. And then also, it was just taking us so much time to just get things level, to just get things to where the yards were mowed and all those kinds of things. But we're really good at mowing yards now, and we can do it really fast. And so, if we have as many volunteers as we do, even on a yard mowing day, we could send 12 people around to mow yards, and then we could send 12 more people to go and paint a couple different houses. And we could have a couple really good crews going out and getting more things done than we have in the past. And so that's really what I want to do this summer. We want to have our church projects done, so hopefully we'll have the handicap ramp, the kids' room will be done, and the bathroom will be completed as well by the end of March. And so then we can really try to start preparing for Summer of Serve and just make it bigger and better than ever. So that's what I'm excited about from a church perspective. Now, the city of Kittanning is doing some different things with codes enforcement. So hopefully you'll see a lot of the garbage cleaned up. You'll see like people that have garbage stacked in their yards and those kinds of things should be getting cleaned up. They already started fining this week for abandoned vehicles. And so if you have a vehicle sitting in your yard that's been there for 5 years and there's no valid registration on it, those will start being fined until that vehicle is gone. And so you're going to see different things like that happening around the city. The city's starting to get more serious and starting to take some of the, I think, suggestions of the community. And also, the new city council's been there for a full year now, and they're finally starting to get their feet under them so they can begin to move some of these projects forward. So it's just very, very exciting to be involved in Kittanning. Along with that codes enforcement, hopefully they'll actually take care of a lot of the yards that we would normally cut, which will free up our time to go and do other things that need to be done too. So it's like win, 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 win. I just love it. It's there's going to be so many good things coming. Mark my words. Sorry, bear with me here. There's been a lot of comments. I've been talking too much, I guess. Matt Smith says, let's get Tebow to come to Kittanning and team up with you on a video. That would, dude. Like, if you guys can get on Twitter and send Tim Tebow what's going on in Kittanning, and if you could make that happen, man, I would just love you forever. So, yeah, go on Twitter, go on Instagram, find Tim Tebow's account, and just, hit him up for Kittanning, greatest city in the world. That would be amazing. Evan says, I love worshiping the Lord. Me too. Will Rummel says, Justin Lamison. I know him. Justin Lamison's a good guy, He runs 2 churches and works full time. Like, if you think I'm busy, go watch Justin Lamison. He needs a YouTube channel so you guys can see what he's got going on. Melissa says, Kevin says to Melissa, hope your family's doing all right. Very good. 3D Maker Kid just put a picture up on Discord. Does that mean you want me to show it on the channel? Because I will. I'll do it. Let me pull it up here. Oh, this is the... So 3D Maker Kid has a live reenactment for the Baum family trailer. Sorry, it's a little blurry. But it says, help me. And that's the trailer rolling down the hill. Justin does not have a YouTube channel as far as I know. If he did, though, that would be amazing. Sorry. I'm working through the comments here. Gene says it's very good. Andrew's a blessed man. I'm absolutely a blessed man, 100%. Will Rummel says, that's good. I don't plan on dressing up again till my funeral. Caden says, I'm only 16. I know. Melissa says, there's actually a lot more going on. I'll message you later and talk to you about it. Okay, thank you. Kevin says, we need to make some big wooden crosses with living water on them to put in the yards of the abandoned houses we mow. We could definitely do that. We also have yard signs that we can put out, Kevin. I need to make more of them. Last year was the only year we didn't put out the yard signs, but I think we need to do that again because it's a really good ministry opportunity. It lets people know what's going on, and it drives people to the church, which I think is always a blessing for them and for us. Kevin said, Will says, sorry, you guys are talking to each other. I don't need to read all the comments where you're talking to each other. Jennifer says, you can practice on our older window frames, but we're in Butler. Well, maybe we could do summer serve in Butler someday, Stay connected, Jennifer. Let's talk. Brad says, Kevin, that's a great idea. It's absolutely a great idea. We could do the crosses and the yard signs. We could make it look real nice. That'd be really cool. Evan says, I need to ask you about liability insurance. Yeah, absolutely. You can either send me a message or you can ask the question right here, and I'll answer your insurance questions right on the live stream. Todd says, prep is the biggest thing with painting. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the nice thing about having so many people, because if you have one person and you're trying to do a big painting job, the prep work will destroy you because it takes so long. But if you have 20 people, you can have 5 people on each project just doing prep work, and so they scrape and sand and prime behind, and then people come through with the finish coat afterwards, and you can get a really nice system going and get a lot of painting done. And so we've seen that done. We've done it before. We've painted entire houses before, and so we can definitely make it happen. Brad says, we can mow 10 yards in 3 hours. We've mowed 12 yards in less than 2 hours before, and so we can kill it. We can absolutely kill it as a church. We are really good at mowing grass. True Story says, Andrew, when are you going to buy a parking lot by you, reserve a spot for yourself, and rent out the others? Take the money and put it towards something other than supporting the evil meters. I was actually just thinking about this the other day, okay? There's a building on my street that says like Hillside Records, Blades Hair Studio used to be in there, Dentisi Produce used to be in there. It's like a big abandoned building. I don't know who owns that building, but if I could get that for cheap and tear it down, I might make my own personal Kittanning Greatest City in the World parking lot there, and I would give out parking passes to my subscribers so they could park for free, and I could charge anyone else that wanted to park there. That was one of my thoughts the other day as I was driving down North Mckean. Dave Henderson said, just be careful. Needles have been found in a few places. Yes, David, I'm aware. We've actually found a couple needles before. I'm not scared of needles at all, so I just pick them up and throw them away and dispose of them. But I appreciate the warning. Absolutely. And the first time that we mow every year is always a little bit hairy because people throw garbage in these yards throughout the year because they know the properties are abandoned. And so it can be very hard on a lawnmower as you go through because you can really do some damage. Judy says, who is TBO? I have no idea what that means. True Story says, we need an interview with you and Justin. Whatever happened with your Hour Interview podcast? I know. I haven't done the podcast in forever. I want to bring it back, you guys. I really do. It's been a time issue. But it will be back eventually. I have this whole list of people that I want to interview and people that have agreed to be interviewed. And so I have no excuse. But it's more than just sitting down and talking for 45 minutes. I try to make it so the conversation will really flow. And so I come up with 10 questions, all those kinds of things. But I used to use the live stream for that. I'd say, we need to maybe get back to that. And then I could use the live stream as, hey, I'm going to be talking to so-and-so this week. Can you guys give me some questions? Because when I used to do that, it worked really, really well. We just need to do it again. So that's where we're at. So I will get back to a True Story. I apologize. It's totally my fault. 100% me. I need to make it happen. 3D Maker Kid says, welcome to Insurance and Liability Tips from Andrew Ladisaw, fully qualified State Farm professional. It's all true. It's all true. Matt Smith says, have Stuff a Bus in August where we fill it with school supplies for needy kids with the Living Water Summer Serve banner on the bus. Um, that already happens in Kittanning, so I would just encourage you to support the Salvation Army Stuff a Bus that they do every August up by the Kittanning Walmart, and so get on board with that. I would love to do Stuff a Bus. It's not our thing. We have other things that we do. Um, it's just not our thing. I don't think we have the right people for that. But we do have the workers to make Summer Serve happen. So we're going to keep going with that. Evan says, I was told to get liability on my motorized bike. I have a picture I will send you. Okay. Very good. I'll talk to you about that later. But yeah, you should always have liability insurance on a motorized bike, especially if you're going to take it on any kind of public roads. You actually have to have liability on any kind of bike. And if it's a true motorcycle, then you have to have liability because it has a plate and a state registration. So that's where that happens. That's how that goes. Y'all are still talking about Tim Tebow. Very good. Todd says, get a team of goats. They eat anything. Yes, they do. That'd be a pretty cool way to cut the yards in Kittanning. Because you could move them every day, and we could do... That would be amazing, actually. We need to make that happen. True Story says, we should get a person switch out... When should a person switch out of term life insurance to another life insurance policy? When and what do you suggest? Okay, wow. We're getting into insurance tonight. So, yeah, so I would suggest that you buy enough whole life insurance to bury yourself and provide for any final expenses as soon as you possibly can afford it. So I would do that the younger the better. You can lower your term insurance if you need to help pay for it, but get yourself at least 25 to 50,000 in whole life insurance, and then provide term insurance for whatever other temporary needs that you have. So I'm worth quite a bit of money because I have 4 young children, and my wife isn't working currently, and I wouldn't want her to work if something happened to me. So I have a lot of term insurance to pay for those temporary needs, and then I have whole life insurance. Well, my wife has whole life insurance, and I have a universal life policy as well. So I have permanent policies in place for those permanent needs. So that's my suggestion to you. You go with basically take your debt plus 5 years worth of your income, and that is the minimum amount of insurance that you should have. So that's where I'd go. For the rest of you, you stuck around through the insurance question. We still have 21 people, so praise the Lord. Roblox says, are you my dad? I am not your dad. Nope. Todd John says, Mikey and Big Bob Freak Show do Stuff a Bus. Yes, they do. I remember that when I used to live in Pittsburgh, and you could actually get radio stations. You can't get any radio stations in downtown Kittanning. It is one of the most frustrating things ever. It's actually why I subscribe to The Economist, and so now I just listen to The Economist as I drive around on my phone. And really cool, my wife got me for Christmas. It's a tape. I have a tape deck in my truck, okay? That's the only unit that I have. They make a tape deck that has Bluetooth in it. And so I have Bluetooth tape deck. I put the tape into my tape deck in my truck, and I have Bluetooth service, so I can listen to The Economist from my phone in my 99 Chevy S10. It's the most amazing thing. It's fantastic. Oh, Jennifer says, yeah, but who would be on poop patrol for the goats? It's true. Jennifer's thinking ahead. She's smart. Evan said, I don't need plates for my bike. I would still get insurance. It'll be really cheap if you don't have plates. Like, I'm talking $20 a year. Like, really cheap to get liability. So if you're going to take it on public roads, get yourself some liability insurance, for sure. Judy says, who is Tebow that you're talking about? Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow. Multiple national champion football player, Tim Tebow. Steeler slaying quarterback, Tim Tebow. He's a hero. He's a Christian hero. Go check him out. Sorry, guys. My leg is fully asleep. My leg is 100% asleep right now, so I got to move around. Sorry. True Story says, can you keep extending term life insurance? No, you cannot. You can only extend it to a certain age. It depends on the policy. Most of them are between 70 and 80 years old, and by that time, you would never own term insurance because it would be so incredibly expensive. You would never be able to afford it, and it would never make sense for you to have it. So, um, just yeah, if I just my answer from earlier still stands. Just go with that. Dave said, I used to work for Brett Zambotti during the summer, and I might be able to help you all now and then with the lawns. I just can't do the heavy amount I used to, about 13 lawns a day. Yeah, see, we don't need anyone to carry the whole heavy load when we all come together and work together. It doesn't even feel like work anymore because we had 20 people doing 13 lawns, and so each one of us did, not like a little over half of a lawn. But it goes so fast and it's so encouraging. AJ says he has the wooden crosses. Very good. Amanda Slagle, the doctor, is in the house. Glad to have you, Amanda. True Story says The Economist equals mind control. Why do you say that? The Economist is amazing. Great writing. It's a little bit liberal, but I like that. Not because I'm liberal, but because I like to hear different viewpoints. And they do actually a really good job, I think, of reporting the actual facts of the story. And then when they go into analysis, they give both sides, and they do a really good job at that. So, if you want to listen to something that's going to actually build your knowledge of world events and current events, The Economist is probably the best way to do that. Evan's encouraging everyone to like the video. 19 likes, which I think may be a new record on the channel. But if we get to 20, that'd be great. True Story says, I get why you listen to it. Jennifer says, yeah, if you have any questions on world events too, like, I'm your guy. I love that stuff. Jennifer says, if you have Amazon Prime, you can listen to Christian music through Bluetooth also. I had no idea. That's awesome. And I do have Amazon Prime, so I'm going to check that out. Caden says, show my Snapchat stream. We've talked about this before. Snapchat. Oh, wow, okay. So this is the trailer. So they had that huge trailer loaded with quads, evidently sliding down the hill tonight. Pretty impressive, my man. Pretty impressive. I'm glad y'all are okay. That could have been really dangerous. Kevin says, I need life insurance with riding a bike and Kittanning sometimes. Yes, you absolutely do. Let's see. 3D Maker Kid says, still doesn't ring a bell. I'm not sure what you're referring to at this point. Sorry, bear with me. Todd says, okay. Matt Smith says, how are the chickens doing? Keeping the water from not freezing lately. It's staying light out later and getting lighter in the morning. Spring is right around the corner. Yes, absolutely. The chickens have been loving it because they've been able to be outside. And I've had so many food scraps from all kinds of different stuff. And so the chickens have been really, really happy lately. And they love the light. They love being outside. So it doesn't matter how cold it is. As long as the sun's out, they're out. And the water doesn't freeze when it gets down to just 20. So I haven't had any problems with freezing water. It's been really easy. It's been awesome. Evan says, could you show the picture I sent you? It took me 2 years to rebuild it. You guys are all about the pictures tonight. Oh, wow, okay. So, okay, here's your bike. Okay. So this is not a motorbike per se. You have a bicycle with a motor attached to it. You do not need insurance on that. You're good to go on that thing. As far as I'm concerned. I don't even know if you could insure that because it doesn't have a serial number. It probably doesn't have any kind of VIN or anything. So I would say that you do not need insurance on that, probably. Wow, insurance questions everywhere. Evan, I would totally be your agent if you needed one. If you want to, bring down your information, let me know. I'll be happy to talk with you about it. Jennifer says, Pandora too? Yeah, I don't have Pandora though. Kelly says, anybody else in the mood for some fried squash or zucchini? Maybe some Brussels sprouts. You're just making me hungry now, Kelly. It's not even fair. Colin's in the house. Colin Toy is in the house. Kelly says, I'm getting a new car soon. Do I just come down and put it in mine or Jason's name? Yeah, you want to put it in, just one of your names probably, since y'all aren't married. Whoever the title is going to be under, and come down and see me. Absolutely. I'm like making money tonight. Like, you guys are awesome. True Story says, what's your take on Trilateral Commission, UN, Bilderberg, Military Industrial Complex? Curious economist listener. So, Trilateral Commission, all the conspiracy theory stuff. I mean, I know those places actually exist. I'm just not sure how much power they actually have. I think that whole New World Order has been really shocked over the last several years with the election of Donald Trump. I don't think they saw that coming. And then you look at what happened in France with the elections. Eastern Europe has had a lot of interesting elections lately. Germany's going to have an interesting election coming up with Angela Merkel is finally stepping down, and then Britain with Great Britain exiting the European Union. And so all those kinds of things, I think the New World Order has completely shaken at this point. Now, there could be some kind of major cataclysmic world event, which from a biblical perspective would then kind of bring about the New World Order would come back full steam, and people would get scared and kind of say, hey, we do need a one world government. We do need all these things. That could happen. I could see that happening really fast. And so I think that they would still have power in those kinds of situations. But I don't know. That stuff just doesn't scare me at all. As a Christian, as a believer, I'm just not worried about conspiracy theories at all. I'm just worried about my next conversation with somebody. How can I use my life to glorify God tomorrow? That's how I'm thinking in my perspective. So I believe in that stuff. I'm just not worried about it at all. So Matt Smith says it's a pedal bike with a motor. Yes, it is. Colin's saying that Evan did not build it. He bought that bike. None of us have insurance yet. Talking about air fryer. Y'all are talking about food. Okay. Melissa says my mom's gonna be messaging you for an insurance quote. You guys are the best. Colin says, add Mr. Ladisaw. I forget his snap, but he is a great guy and a good friend to talk to. Thank you so much, Colin. Yeah, you can add me on Snapchat. I'm getting good at Snapchat now. I have 2 streaks that are over 20 days. So, it's pretty impressive. But I'm really trying to be better at Snap and adding stuff to my stories. I'm also going to try to get into Instagram stories at the same time. And I have my Instagram is pretty active, and I'm trying to be more active on Twitter. So you guys can follow me on all those platforms. And I would love to have more Kittanning positivity, just going out in as many directions as possible. So if you guys would do some positive stuff on social media and tag me in it, I will share it for you, and we can all kind of work together, putting a bigger voice out there for how Kittanning is the greatest city in the world. We're going long tonight, guys, so this is really fun. Caden says, show my snap on the stream. Caden, what you got now? Okay, so this is the truck they were in, evidently. It says, this is the truck that I plan on driving to Kittanning Church of God, my church. I am only 11. All right, very cool. You got a little ways to go. Matt Smith says, gotta watch those Russians on elections, Vladimir Putin and the spies. See, I don't believe the Russians had anything to do with the elections. I do believe they ran ads on Facebook. I don't think it made a lick of difference. That's just my take on it. I don't think there was any collusion from the Trump campaign. I honestly don't think they were that organized, if I'm telling the truth. True Story says, do you think we're living in God's revealing time, aka Revelations? I tend to not think that Jesus is coming back tomorrow. I just don't. The Bible says that no one knows the hour or the time. I think it's very plausible that we could have a couple 100 years or more. I think it's very plausible that Jesus will not return in my lifetime. That's where I'm at on it. But that being said, we are definitely living in Revelations. I mean, we're in the age that they're talking about there. But I just don't know if we're close yet, if that makes sense. Yeah, Kelly, you're one of my snap streaks, definitely. Melissa said, that's funny. I'll have Zachary add you. He has his Snapchat on my phone. Yeah, let's do it. Colin says, Andrew knows how to make people's days. He's been making my day 24/7. He's really nice. Thanks for everything, Mr. Lattisaw. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Glad to have you as a friend, Colin, both on Snapchat and like real life. It's I think you're a cool guy, and I think that I do. I mean, we need to go have coffee because I see you like you are who I was. Let's see how long ago, 15 years ago, and so I would love to like impart some wisdom into your life, and I just want to see you succeed and do a lot of great things with your life, Colin. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Evan says we need one more like. We do. We need one more like, you guys. We need a like here. Colin says he got a new girlfriend. Congratulations, Colin. Keep it Christian, my friend. Jennifer says I have the power air fry. We're still talking about food, you guys. I gotta quit. Swan says I always check to see what Vladimir says first, and then I vote accordingly. Oh, this has been one of the most interesting live streams we've ever had. Let's see. Seek discomfort, 3D Maker Kid says. I always love you, man. I love your positive attitude. So good. Laura says her C. diff test was negative. That's a praise the Lord situation right there. That's great, Laura. How are you doing? Are you getting stronger? I'm praying for you. I find myself praying for you often. So, I don't know. I just really love you, and I hope that you're doing well. Colin says we need to meet up. Yes, we do. Todd says, have you ever preached from Revelations or Revaluations? I don't know if that's a joke or if you're asking if I preach from Revelations. I have preached out of Revelations just a couple times. I've never gone through the whole book, but we'll do that someday for sure. We'll actually be preaching out of Revelations coming up after Easter. We have a sermon series planned that's just going to be called You're Gonna Die. And so we're going to preach probably a lot out of Revelations in that one. So mark your calendars for that. Caden says, that's not ours. Oh, okay, that's not your truck. Okay, I see. Colin says, thanks so much. Can we meet up next Monday at 4:30 if I'm not busy? Is that tomorrow, Monday? Is that next Monday, or are you talking the following? Let me know. I'll get it on my calendar. True Story says, Trump is married into a very prevalent Russian family. That said, I still enjoy the Trump. Yeah, me too. I kind of enjoy how he shakes things up. I wish he would be a little more Christian, if you know what I'm saying. But that being said, I think he's toned it down a lot, especially since the election. I still talk about that second debate with him and Hillary. That was the craziest 15 minutes of television that I've ever watched in my entire life. Was the second debate. Go look it up on YouTube. Second debate, first 15 minutes. It was wild. I have never seen anything like it. Totally crazy. Yeah, I am going to say what I got this week, Kelly. So let me say that right now before I forget. Then I'll go through the comments one more time, and then we'll be done. So I got two really cool gifts this week. Number one, Kelly from the chat right here got me this really cool glass. And so her dad got me some Kittanning glasses before. I'm not sure if this is my new favorite, but it's definitely one of my favorite glasses I've ever received. So it has my name on one side, and then check out the other side. How cool is this? Kittanning is the greatest city in the world. Fantastic. Great gift. Thank you so much, Kelly. I was ecstatic to receive it, and I'm ecstatic to consume kombucha out of it tonight. This is the other super cool thing I got today. One of the kids who comes to our church sometimes, his name is Sam. He heard about Joanna, and he got this card for me. And then he took it to the high school. He took it to Armstrong High School and took it around to all of his classmates that know this channel and know me from different classes. And they all signed it. There must be over 50 signatures in here. I didn't have a chance to go through and count them all, but I was just like so blessed looking at this and looking at all of the signatures in here. I just thought it was absolutely amazing. And so just reading through all the names, I recognize a couple of the names. There's a couple here like Tim. Tim wrote, love the vlogs. And so I don't know, it's just really cool. How many of these kids, like there's a really great group of kids out there, you guys. If you're ever questioning the next generation, a lot of them, they really have it right. They really have their hearts right. And so Those are the two really cool things that were just a super blessing to me in the past 2 days. And so just thank you guys for all the prayers. There was actually someone, I have no idea who it was, but they came into my office. They dropped off $100 bill for me last week. It was totally crazy. And he just dropped it off and said, I know everything that you've been dealing with your daughter, and this is just for Andrew. And then she said, like, my sister is his biggest fan or something like that, and just dropped off $100 bill. And I was like, that is so crazy. And so I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with that yet, but I want to pour it back into the channel. Maybe it'll just be part of my drone fund or something like that. But I'm going to use it to be a blessing to the city. I don't ever like ask for money, and I don't like want to be a person that asks for money. We don't even do that at church, to be honest with you. And it's just amazing, like the outpouring of love for the channel and for my daughter, and just for all. It's so amazing to know you guys. I just am overflowing with blessing. And I just want to just say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you for every single one of you that has been a support of this channel or of our family and all those things. It's been absolutely amazing. I'm always a very positive guy, and I just have never been negative, but my positivity is absolutely overflowing for the future of our city. I just cannot say enough how positive I am about the outlook of everything we have going on. So anyway, before I cry, I'm just going to go back to your comments, and we'll finish this thing up. We're 56 minutes. How did this happen? All right. Okay, we got over 20 likes. Fantastic. That's great. Amazing. 23 likes now. Awesome. But anyway, thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Sam. And thank you, all the people at AHS. Thank you, everyone else. It's been awesome. Colin says, Trump is dating Putin because they both hate... I don't believe that, Colin. Amanda says, sounds like a cheery series. Yeah, you're going to die. It's going to be very cheery. And it's just something we all have to think about. So we'll make it fun, I promise. It won't be like all dark and gloomy, but we just want to have a series that's going to kind of be like shocking to people right after Easter. We're trying to break our attendance record on Easter Sunday, and then we want to keep as many of those people as possible. And so that's the plan, is to have something that's going to be a little bit shocking, that you want to come back next week and figure out what that's all about. Caden's going to bed. Good night, Caden. Colin says, my new girlfriend's a Christian. That is fantastic. That's what you need, my friend. Todd says, okay, all right, good. Matt Smith says, let's sell Andrew Ladisaw shoe polish, and all proceeds benefit Summer of Serve. And the commercial will have you shining up those brown shoes, dress shoes you wear to work. You're too much, Matt. You're too much. Okay, 23 likes. Laura, I'm assuming you were one of those. Swan says, Kelly and Kevin, that rocks. Absolutely. Amanda says, I have to compare notes on brewing kombucha. I have a SCOBY and need to start brewing again. Absolutely. Message my wife. She'll send you all the links, and she will be happy to probably do a class with you if you want to come out to my house and learn it directly from her. She is the kombucha master, and she's actually going to be doing it on Wednesday, I believe is the schedule, Amanda. So if you're available Wednesday, she'll make it happen with you. The Ab Man says, Kittanning is an awesome place. True that. True Story says, does anyone wonder how we could be chanting with President Reagan in 89 to tear down the wall, and now we are chanting build the wall? Well, probably because it's two quite different things, but I'm not going to get into all that tonight. Colin says, Andrew, she goes to church every Sunday, Bible study. I'm so glad to have her. That's fantastic. We need to talk about that. I would love to do that. Todd says, Andrew, you need a meter fare? Yes, I do. I need help with the parking meters, 100%. Swan says, we appreciate all you do for the greatest city in the world, Andrew. Thank you, thank you. It's a blessing to be a part of it, honestly. Jean says, may the blessing of the Lord be upon you. I bless you in the name of the Lord. God bless you, Pastor Andy. Thank you, thank you. Colin says, Andrew needs a bodyguard. Probably. Becky says, have a good night. Have a good night, Becky. See you later. Evan says, you're like a role model to me, and I love looking up to you. I'm happy to have you guys, and anything that I can ever do for you, I'm 100% there. 100%. Uh, and you guys are brothers, literally, so I could totally help you both out. Roblox says, coldest day of the year. It was. I made a video about it. Go check it out. Colin says, I want to be like you because you've inspired me to be a YouTuber. I haven't gotten the gear yet. Well, if you have a phone, you're watching this on your phone probably. So you got all the gear you need to start. Brittany says, I made that cup. Brittany made this cup. If y'all want a cup like this, go see Brittany. She will be happy to make you one as well for the right price, I'm sure. Colin says, hi, Brittany. I miss you. Andrew, I'm going to be your bodyguard. All right, man. Let me know which Monday you want to meet up, Colin. I'll be happy to meet up with you. We'll grab some coffee. We'll grab some baked goods. We'll make it happen. Looking forward to it, my friend. Anyways, you guys, we are over an hour. I got to get off of here. It's been a joy. It's been a blessing. Let me know if you guys have any different ideas for Summer of Serve or any of that kind of stuff. And